instead of welcome back. This is our second time doing our podcast. This is Fantasy Drunken Wisdom with ID. I am Israel.
I am Daniel.
And if you're listening to us again, that means that either one, we're not annoying, funny enough, or not funny enough, or you want to talk shit, or you just want a good time, or you want to lose your fantasy draft. That's what's up. But let's start off this podcast with anything else but besides Drunken Wisdom. Today is what day is today, Don? You didn't even know. You weren't even like life. This is not even your life. I had to remind you.
Yeah, and some may argue that's a good thing. But I didn't know today was National Tequila Day.
And apparently it is, and we have to post this today. Which is, what is today anyways? July what? 24th.
Today's the 24th, yeah.
See, I didn't even know that. I only go by National Beer Days or Drinking Days.
Gotcha. Yeah, Margarita Day, etc.
We've done that.
February 22nd.
See? And we got pretty drunk that day. Yeah. And tell us the cool story of that one.
Which part?
The girl.
Which one?
That got wasted.
Oh, yeah. I have a friend who...
Could you be my friend?
Yeah. Our friend, yeah.
No, just because of this one reason you're going to say this. I don't want her to be my friend.
So when she drinks, she basically was trying to keep up with us, I think.
Yeah, she was. She was. Bad idea for everyone, by the way.
It was. We had 4 drinks of some... if you guys are familiar with Aki's Calamex, those swirls, you guys know how strong they are. We had a little over 4.
And by the way, if you're not familiar with that, they only allow you to drink 2.
And that's if you have a DD. If you're driving, you have a 1 drink limit.
Yeah, that's all you can drink.
So naturally,
industrial strength is what they quote unquote say.
So naturally, how many do we have?
More than 2.
A little over 4.
double the amount. And one of us was driving, won't say who.
Yeah. Actually, we both drove at one point.
We did. Yeah.
At the same time, it was weird. But friend who she had 3, and for her that was a lot. Basically, she was just down for the count, but she was like one of sitting down with a head in her arms position, right?
The lazy Mexican with the sombrero,
but still talking and coherent. But she just talked about how she wanted to sit on someone else that was there, another girl's face. Yeah, among other people's faces.
And that's why I wanted to be a friend.
Yeah.
Just that night. Just that night. But yeah, so we're about this live. You are about to celebrate National Tequila Day. We're about to celebrate. So we do have a couple shots here. They're called pocket shots.
I'm pretty sure this is more than a shot.
I'm pretty sure too. I really think so. But we're taking Don Julio Blanco from our joke from the previous podcast, Blanco Posura.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, let's take this down and please, if you have some too, please have some ready and drink with us as we do National Tequila Day. Before we start the podcast, let's do it. Woo! That was definitely a double sipper.
Yeah.
Oh, that was not. Woo! Also, no salt, no lime.
Mm-hmm.
Just straight tequila.
Yeah, I mean,
no chasers, nothing.
I mean, we have beer, but
yeah, that's what I just had right now. So, all right, let's start this. So, me and Donnie fucked up last podcast. We forgot to end our last podcast with our last BACs of the night. We did, yeah. So, what did you have, Donnie, for yourself?
At the end of the night, right? So, for to recap, at the beginning of the night, do you remember what our BACs were?
No, I don't. I'll be honest with you.
Huh? Good, neither do I.
Maybe 0.052.
I think you were that was at the
in the beginning of our first podcast.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Well, by the end, we currently have myself marked down at 0.065.
At the end?
Oh, that was the beginning. I'm sorry.
That was the beginning. Oh, he's already starting at it. This shot's got him.
All right. So
listen to him.
At the end of last time...
you're really bad at numbers for being a number guy.
It works on the end. Law of averages.
It's okay.
Yeah. At the end, I was at 0.195, and I did start out at 0.065.
we double checked that, and he legit came out 0.199,
Mm-hmm.
which is funny because his dad the same night was 0.199.
Yep.
It was funny. I was at 0.052.
You were at 0.052.
See, good memory.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with memory. And I ended the night with 0.08.
Yep.
Right? Cool. And I needed help from you with that. Did not remember that.
Huh?
But that was our BAC level. That's all our drunken wisdom we had by the end of the night. And for today, as we start every podcast, we want to start with our individual BAC levels to begin with. What did you have, Danya?
Okay, so for this time, I had a 0.05.
So the same as me last week.
Pretty much.
And apparently, I'm a 0.05 as well. So I'm pretty consistent, which is the name of my profession and also the name of my evaluations.
There you go. I'm everywhere. Yeah.
It was just the name of the numbers, right?
Yeah,
Laws of averages.
Yeah, I mean, if you go high, you go low. You're bound to end somewhere in the middle,
right? And for today, we did drink. I don't even remember the almanac. I love hazy IPA. It was.
We had two so far before we started the show.
What do you think?
It was good. The second time, when it was really cold. It was much better.
The first time we drank it, it was warm. Actually, I think it was temperature, like fridge temperature.
Yeah, fridge temperature, like outside on the shelf, like on the shelf fridge.
Not that far. All right, but yeah, and it tasted more like beer. If you like it, go for it. But like I like my alcohol is I'd rather not it taste like alcohol.
Right.
I'd rather it taste like really good drink.
Yeah, or food. Alcohol. Or food
too. Yeah. So we had the almanac. Love hazy IPA. If you chill it, it's really good.
Yeah,
really good. But if you drink it room temperature or fridge temperature, you might enjoy it if you like the beer forward tasting. But if you really just want a very juicy IPA, then I suggest you put it in the freezer for a little bit and then drink it that way. What do you think?
No, I agree. And I mean, even if you drink enough, it's all going to taste the same.
And I hope they all taste the same after this double shot, apparently.
I actually looked it up. It's a little over, not quite 2, but it's
1.5.
So 29, about roughly 29 milliliters is considered a shot, right?
Okay.
So not quite 2, but on its way.
All right. So what are we looking at? 1.5, 1.75, 1.8?
Around the range. Let's see.
All right. Do your math. I'll keep going. As he's looking that up, today what we have lined up for us is we're going to look at our personal podcast segments. We're also going to look at percentages of each position and what Donian's, what would you say, your research has looked up. And we promised that from the first one, so we weren't that drunk. Not that drunk. And we're going to look at that for this podcast. We want to get that in so that way we got about a month left until preseason ends, and hopefully you're drafting at that time because I would never draft before preseason.
Yeah, I want to butt in there first for the shots. That was a 1.72 with some decimals. I mean, they don't matter. Come on.
So let's round it up, right?
Yeah, hundreds, guys.
We're important. But all right, let's go on with today. So our first thing today, let's make it a little personal, right? So yeah, we keep telling you about the BAC levels, but what the fuck do they mean? How drunk are you, right? So me and Donnie, we're going to go through alcohol.org. Yeah, we went through .org. We didn't go through .com. We want an official website. Mm-hmm. And Donnie, what did it say to you that we just put an X out?
Right. So when we were on alcohol.org, we're trying to see the BAC levels and what each percentage does to you, so we can break it down to you for
maybe a little bit for us.
Yeah, a lot for us really. So we click on it, right? And you know how some sites have those, which talking to a professional there that can help you, right? So immediately there were two options on my screen, like a little chat box open. Said, would you like to? Are you thinking about quitting, or did you need help, or how are you managing this, right?
Uh-huh.
And man, that was a tough choice for me.
Or you have a problem.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think you understand. This is for our job.
Yeah. JOB.
Hmm?
BAC equals JOB.
JOB, yeah.
Yeah, I like it. All right, so let's go right down for everyone to read. If you don't drink, that's cool.
But not really. No,
just listen.
If you don't, like, I'm sure you maybe have your reasons. And seriously, that's completely fine.
Yeah, just listen. We just do it for liquid lubrication.
We'll drink. We'll drink. If you don't drink, we'll drink through you. So send us money. We'll drink for you.
Sounds nasty.
Sounds like that'll come up later.
That's like not secondhand smoke. That's like secondhand drink. I like it.
But if they don't drink, then maybe they want to quote unquote experience it vicariously through someone else. Yes. That could be
or vicarious.
But I mean, really, yeah.
Vicarious.
Just send us the funds. Yeah, we'll drink.
Yeah, for you. Yeah. Let's go with our 0.05 because that's where we're at right now. Donnie, let's start it off. Go for it.
Okay, so we're reading the levels and what's associated with it.
Yeah.
So according to alcohol.org, 0.05%. So I'm just going to read straight from there.
Quote unquote.
At this level of BAC, your behavior will become exaggerated. You may speak louder and gesture more. Granted, I already speak loud. I'm a teacher, so I just project my voice. You may also begin to lose control of small muscles, right?
Like your dick.
Yeah. Actually, no, that's a big one. But the big muscles are cool, so,
All right, he's exaggerating.
Like the ability to focus your eyes, so vision will become blurry. Your judgment is impaired, ignore that. And coordination is reduced, may be true. Tracking objects visually becomes more difficult. And your ability to respond to emergencies like an object in your path would be reduced. That's false if you're us. Your inhibitions will be lowered, although you will feel good and may still choose to engage in risky behaviors like driving. We feel good all the time.
All the time.
Some states in the U.S. are lowering the rest you don't. That's U.S. stuff. You don't have to hear.
We're good. Yeah. We're good. So that's 0.05. So I'll go 0.08. This is the current legal limit in most of the U.S. We're from California, so this is our current legal limit, which is stupid. When it's considered unsafe to drive, you will lose more coordination, so your balance, speech, reaction times, and even hearing will get worse. Not true. Standing still, focusing on objects. I've never done that, all right? And evading obstacles. When are you evading obstacles at any time when you're sober or... Unless you're playing football or a sport, like...
you got me. Yeah.
So evading obstacles are much harder. Reasoning, judgment, self-control, concentration, and memory will be impaired. Short-term memory loss may start.
I feel like this 0.08 is for like NFL players. Because I feel like they need all that.
Concussions.
Yeah.
Put me in the concussion tent.
There you go.
All right, I like it. Go for it. What do you got next?
All right, next is 0.1%. So in the U.S., that's over the legal limit.
Yeah.
If that's not over the legal limit where you are, I'd like to be there. So 0.1%. You will be visibly intoxicated at this BAC.
When?
Whatever that means.
When?
Reaction time and control will be reduced. Speech will be slurred.
All right.
I kind of believe that.
Last podcast?
Yep. Thinking and reasoning are slower. I don't know. I tend to do my best. And the ability to coordinate your arms and legs is poor. We're sitting down. It doesn't matter. So when you're driving, you're mostly sitting down, right?
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. All right. Next one. 0.15. This BAC is very high. Not true. You will have much less control over your balance and voluntary muscles. They're voluntary. Who cares?
Yeah.
I get to control that.
Maybe force them and they'll be fun.
Yeah. If they were involuntary, I would care. So walking and talking are difficult. All right, I guess so. You may fall and hurt yourself. Vomiting may begin. Daniel, I have to ask you, a 0.199 last time.
Mm-hmm.
Did vomiting may begin happen for you?
It did not may begin happening. Yes. And it did not begin happening neither for my dad or myself. We got Wingstop.
That's true.
Yeah.
Go for it. Hit it.
Right.
Next one.
0.2%. So this is kind of high. Confusion, feeling dazed, and disorientation are common. That's probably true.
Maybe.
Standing and walking may require help. That may be true too. as balance and muscle control will have deteriorated a lot. We'll see.
We'll let them tell us if it's true or not. We don't feel those symptoms.
Sensation of pain will change. Who needs pain? So if you fall and seriously hurt yourself, you may not notice. For some people, I completely agree.
Yeah.
And you are less likely to do anything about it. That's probably true.
Mac Burrito.
No, yeah. Nausea and vomiting are likely to occur. Honestly, that depends on the person. If you're just
want someone to sit on your face,
then
I'm sure it was. I'm sure she was a point too.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure she was a point that she was over.
Yeah.
And the gag reflex would be impaired. That could be helpful. Which could cause choking, aspirating, or vomiting. It depends. Blackouts. It depends. It's time and place, right? Time and place.
Exactly. Take that into account. Wait, you missed out on the last one. Go for it.
Oh, okay. Also,
everyone's favorite.
0.2%. Blackouts begin at this BAC, so you may participate in events that you don't remember. Now,
it's highlighted.
It's highlighted. Now, I know I've been over 0.2% before.
You personally?
Correct.
Again, this is case by case.
Yeah, I've only ever blacked out once, and I know I've been over 0.2% numerous times. So it's weird because for me, I'm aware of everything that's going on, but if I get super, at that percent, my body just shuts down. It's a weird feeling because I'm aware of everything. I just can't move it.
So spinal injury.
Yeah. Mike Tyson to me.
Who was not to make a joke about this, but who was the linebacker from Pittsburgh Steelers?
That was rough. Oh, man, I can't remember.
And I only say
with an S.
I only say this story because he went through no feeling of nothing, like a 0.2. But he's back, and he's Shazier.
Ryan Shazier.
Yeah, Shazier. And his story is so good because
that was a scary injury.
But he had the symptoms of this.
Yeah.
Not because he was drunk, but because neck to spine injury. But I just say that because I'm like, damn.
Oh.
Yeah. Don't fuck up.
I've experienced that, I guess.
Yeah. Don't fuck it up. All right. 0.25. All physical, mental, emotional, and sensory processing functions are impaired. That's a lot of things to put into consideration. Mm-hmm. You will feel numb on many levels.
Mainly emotional.
Yeah. This is where I start crying. And you are at high risk of choking on vomit. Just put them to the side. Falling and severely hurting yourself or killing yourself unintentionally. Mm-hmm. Killing yourself. All right. As a mental health profession, if that ever happens, I do have to say just call 911 or just check yourself into a hospital. If that has ever happened. I will never joke about that. But all I'm saying is that I've never felt like that in any type of alcohol. But if you do, please follow those rules. Please do. Please do.
So I'll do the next one, and we can probably cut it from here. But 0.3% stupor may set in.
You know what stupor is?
Or if you don't, it's basically the brain essentially shutting down.
Yeah, and then everything goes just down.
Yeah.
Posture, walking, coordination. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like passing out, but you appear to be awake.
Yeah, for sure.
However, you're basically unresponsive to nearly all stimuli. I'm sure you guys have experienced this or seen someone like this at one point. And
these are the people you avoid a fight.
Yeah.
Or fight because it's an easy win.
Yeah. So basically from here on out, everything after that it's just all bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm just going to go to the last one, 0.4 and over. This level may put you in a coma or cause sudden death because your heart or breathing will suddenly stop. I don't think I've ever been at that point. And all I'm saying is that if you're ever at that point, please take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Please do. We like to drink. We like to have fun. But we don't want anybody dying from it.
No. And if you do plan on drinking heavily, take someone with you.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like your style. That's just as drunk.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
figure it out.
I mean, we have each other. If we were out drinking, we'd have each other. We'd figure it out.
No, if we are both at 0.4.
Oh.
One of us would still drive.
Yeah. and to be honest, we'd be all right.
We'd get home safe.
Yeah, probably.
We eat a bowl of pho.
Yeah.
We'd eat maybe some Jack in the Box because that's everyone's favorite.
Yeah, pho, maybe stop at Wingstop, maybe switch off driving, and it's not like that's happened before or anything.
Never.
Yeah.
Never. But it has, and we got away with it. Anyways, if you're...
we probably weren't at 0.4, though.
No.
We were mostly just tired.
And if we were, we just defied alcohol.org's physics and research, and they're not experts, apparently. Just like our podcast is saying, you're an expert. We're going to figure out what experts to look at. Let's go to the next segment.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. All right. Here we go. That was fun. But let's look at... We didn't explain what our segments are, right?
Right, we didn't. So we're going to basically break down a list of segments that we're going to have throughout the show.
Yeah.
And what they're about.
Hopefully they're fun. We think they're fun. We want to have a good time with this. And our first segment, which we're going to go with the first ones that you probably heard on the first podcast, and we didn't explain because you know what? We're amateurs. And amateurs draft Le'Veon Bell last year on the first 2 picks. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Amateurs would do that.
Yeah.
Soft target.
Jordan.
The flex.
Yeah. But, I mean, he's going to hit. Trust us.
But not the first round.
No.
But anyways, so first segment we want to put out there is what is called Minority Report.
Minority Report. And it's close to our hearts because we are minorities.
Our dark hearts.
Dark hearts. And if you're listening to this, hopefully you are too. And if you're not, that's fine. You probably have some money. Send us money.
Darker the berry, sweet juice.
There you go.
All right. All right. So the Minority Report means what, Daniel?
This is basically just news, right? Latest news, updates, what other people think of it. Well, briefly what we think of it. Do we think it's like bullshit or just other people's takes and our take too? Yeah.
I like to call it common sense.
Yeah.
If you're listening to our podcast from a Minority Report, you probably aren't playing enough fantasy, which is good because I want you to keep listening. But I also want you to look at the reports of everybody.
Yep.
All right.
And honestly, we're only going to tell you what we would do. We're not going.
You said that the first one. You're drunk already.
Huh?
You're drunk.
Yeah, maybe first time listeners or second time they want to make sure is this mofo consistent?
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. Second segment we got going on is what, Daniel?
Second segment is break the seal,
which I did last time, and we. To be honest with you, we listened to our last podcast, which was super cool because, Donnie, what did you say about breaking the seal?
Oh, yeah. Well, when I was talking about in the last podcast, I was like, so breaking the seal is essentially when it's one of us, we've been drinking, one of us has to go use the restroom, right? Because that's bound to happen. We have to use it during the show, and then we're going to have some sort of consequence. And immediately after, I said, I don't know what that's going to be. But when Israel... came through, he immediately said, what'd you say?
I'm an honest person. I said, breaking the seal means I gotta drink a shot.
There you go. I'm a teacher. I can't be fully honest to those kids, right?
They're so impressionable.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta bend the truth in their lives.
Yeah, right. So lie about them about the BAC all the time. So that breaking the seal means that the first person that goes pee on the podcast has to take a shot. And if you're continuous, you got to keep taking shots.
Yep.
Keep taking shots. So every time you pee, basically, every time you take a pee break, you're going to take a shot.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah. And I like it. What it goes out, goes in. All right. The third one we got here, Daniel, is... Oh, you got the Captain Morgan coming up. Oh, he distracted me. He distracted me with some alcohol. I get distracted easily with alcohol. Our third one, I believe, is the shot bet, right?
It is a shot bet.
Shot bet. And you may have heard us say this on the first one. And what was our first shot bet, Daniel?
Our shot bet was Derrick Henry versus Marlon Mack. Who finishes with more fantasy points on the season, in the 2019 fantasy football season?
Yeah. Who did you pick?
So I picked. So I picked I guess what ADP basically says, right? I picked Marlon Mack.
You picked Marlon Mack. I picked D. Henry, and regardless of injuries, regardless of anything, whoever wins has to take a shot.
Yep.
That's how the shot bets work. We decided
Even whoever loses.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Whoever loses.
Otherwise, I'll change my bet.
Oh shit, my bad. I'm fucked. I'm on 0.02 now. Right? So whoever loses has to take a shot. We decided off the air that we wanted to save this for the grand finale, meaning that every shot bet that we make, we have to take all those shots at the end of the season.
Yep, and we'll record it, post it somewhere so you guys can see.
And hopefully, if we get really famous, really popular, really good, we can put this live.
Yep.
Or video, or whatever. Maybe, hopefully, this is both our thing, is that we can party with y'all, and maybe you can see it live.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe you can do it with us.
Maybe you guys can buy us the alcohol.
Yeah, right? Right. And that's what shot bet is. So we decided that for this year, we're going to do it for the end of the season. And when we do the grand finale, everything is all said and done. We will mark everything done, and we will drink to that.
Yep.
All right. What do you got for number 4?
Fourth is the shot for shot.
Shot for shot, which is also called...
Name game.
Name game. Yes. Yes. Consequences. What do you got? Say it.
So, for shot name games, it's essentially, and we sort of did a version of this in the last episode where we name a player that we like, or maybe we don't like, just a player that's intriguing, I guess. It's intriguing. And would be like, okay, well, this person's going right here. Who do we take? When we talk to the other person, I talked to Israel in this case.
Oh, the person? It's just me.
Who knows, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I drink enough. Maybe you're turning to something else.
I guess you're 0.25 or something.
Yeah. And
by
basically,
definition.
let's say I say a good thing is Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones. Yeah.
I'd be like Aaron Jones, and I'd say, would you take Carry-On over Aaron Jones? Great. That's a good.
And if I agree, he goes, hey, I would, but you have to agree to that.
I'd have to.
I would take Carry-On over Aaron Jones. And if I say, yes, me too, I would take a shot. Because I'm agreeing with him. Mm-hmm. Shot for shot. Because then I would come back with, let's say, hey, I would take Devontae Freeman over Aaron Jones. And you may say what?
I would too.
Oh, shit. Then you take a shot.
Yeah.
I was thinking you were going to say no.
Actually, I take Aaron Jones over. Yeah. I would take Aaron Jones over.
And if he's changing his mind because he doesn't want to take a shot. But
maybe.
Yeah. He's saying that if he says no, then he doesn't take a shot. That's shot for shot. That's our name game.
Yep.
That's our name game. And we'll do probably about 5 rounds of that. 4 rounds. It depends what's going on, how many people are going there. So that way we mean it.
Yep.
Physically, we're going through the pain for you.
And mentally
and emotionally, according to the BAC from alcohol.org, which I don't need help.
I was going to say which want to help us, but clearly we're
not going to help get his help. All right. So that's shot for shot, which is our name game. What do you, number 5, right?
Number 5th. Yep.
I like this. Fantasy. Fanasty. The Fanasty.
Mm-hmm.
Fanasty for us is going to be your bad beats. The best example I can give you right now is last year for me, 3rd week, I'm playing Andrew Luck. The person I'm playing has Fitzmagic. What?
Yeah. Even the first week.
Second week. Fucking Fitzmagic hits 30 points.
Yeah.
I lose.
They're even the people that flex D-Jacks week 1.
Yeah.
Which was the thing.
These are the Fanasties. Just nasty beats.
Yeah, like I said, bad beats. Basically, either players who beat you by so much and you're like, what happened? Or there could be players who were all, were expected to perform. Everyone, all the analysts, all those, quote unquote experts, maybe even us. Maybe we agreed with some.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah. But they're basically players who didn't perform that were expected to.
Yeah. And please, at this time, we don't have an email, but we'll get an email settled down.
Mm-hmm.
Please email us your Fanasty, and the best ones will be read out loud on our podcast. And we're really trying to make this a fan-based We don't want to make this more. We don't want to make this an analysis.
No.
It's about you guys. You remember, you put the U in GUI.
Yeah, because if it's only him and I drinking, we're alcoholics. But if we're all
ID.
drinking,
everyone wins.
Yeah, we all get the DUI.
Right. So please, we'll let you know in the future about our email that you can send us. We'll read the bad beats during the season, and we want to read those. Actually,
we do. Yeah,
we do.
Honestly, yeah,
because we want to laugh.
Yeah.
I like a good laugh.
Yeah. Honestly, we'll probably be at the end of some bad beats. Someone's going to blow up against us.
Yeah, for sure. We'll let you know about our bad beats, too, sometimes. But honestly, it's about the fans. It's all about the fans. What do you got from 6?
6 is a random breathalyzer test. Basically, right now, we're basically getting pulled over, right? We've all been there, and if you haven't, maybe you're white. I don't know.
Or get there.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. So, essentially, getting pulled over, right? Once one of us is starting to speak, well, we'll consider nonsense. Maybe we're saying something outlandish, like maybe
too much.
Yeah, maybe
extra.
Like, give us an example. Something.
I told you off the air. I told you I would draft Aaron Jones over Damian Williams.
Yeah.
Or over at the back end of the second round.
Right.
And I would call. Really.
Yeah.
Let's get a DUI checkpoint or pullover. That's unbelievably ridiculous. That's too much. And I need to know how drunk you are, because drunk people either tell the truth or exaggerate, according to alcohol.org.
Yep. Now, 7th is our version of keep, trade, cut. You guys know that. However, we have better names. Go ahead.
No, go for it, Donnie.
All right, so the names basically chug, party foul, vomit.
I like it.
It's so if you're keeping them, you're chugging that beer.
Chug. Yeah. Or liquor if you're hardcore.
Yeah, and for those of you maybe that don't drink as heavily, you can switch out chug for coast.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
As far as trading, that's a party foul.
Right? And party foul, meaning like when we say party foul, that's not a good trade for you.
Yeah.
Right? Like we're not gonna this year, let's say, for example, Mike Evans for T.Y. Hilton. Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I would say Mike Evans, right?
Right.
And I would say if someone's going T.Y. Hilton and I'm giving him Mike Evans, party foul.
Yep.
Party foul.
Party foul. Yep.
Party foul. You done fucked up.
And the last one, cut, which makes so much sense for vomit. And if it doesn't make sense to you,
it's about to.
Yeah, and what are you even doing? You're not drinking. So let's spread some. We'll enlighten you.
Yeah, for sure.
So as far as vomiting goes, you've been drinking heavily, right? And you do throw up. As much as it sucks, you feel so much better after. And that you have that one player on your team where you're like, do I cut him? Do I keep him? He's been doing nothing. He's just sitting there.
Yes.
But once you cut him, you're like, I don't have to worry about that mess.
Exactly.
And you're going to feel all, as much of the struggle you've had with him, you're going to feel all that release.
I think you told me off the air. The more you vomit, the more you cut, the more room you have to keep.
It is. It's true. Yeah.
Don't forget that, Donnie. Yeah. You forgot that. That was a good point.
Yeah.
That was a fucking good point. Good point. All right, what do we got last right here?
Now the 8th. So 8th is basically our buy high, buy low.
Oh, this is me.
This is you. Yeah.
Arriba, abajo, para adentro, para centro. Got you. That's how we take shots. And this is going to be our buy low or buy
high.
There it is. I'm drunk already. See?
Go. Yeah. So you're buy high, buy low.
Got you. Sell high, buy low.
It could be either or.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Sell high, buy low.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Sell high, buy low.
But anyways, if you're drinking, arriba, abajo,
a
centro, para adentro. Just do it. Just
again,
know that.
If you haven't figured it out yet,
we're Muslims.
Yeah.
By the name Israel, by the way. That's all our segments that we have so far. What we want to do now is we want to let people know, if you're going to keep listening, and please do, and please support us, that in the future segments, this is the 2 that we have so far. If you got more input, please email us. Please let us know through any means that you want this, and we'll try to make it happen.
And since we don't have anything right now, just messenger pigeon. Just
Yeah.
until we get it out there, just send a messenger pigeon. Just have it stop everywhere.
California. Just California, Bay Area.
Yeah.
Have it stop over there somewhere. All right?
And if we get it, we will feed and water the pigeon.
We'll get it.
We'll get it.
We'll get it.
People race pigeons. You know that?
I shoot them down.
Okay,
Amendment number 2.
The pigeon may not arrive.
Amendment number 2.
Yeah.
So for future segments, we're looking at. I'm gonna let Donnie talk about this because this is what your idea was.
All
so
right.
What was it?
So we're gonna talk about this in a second. As far as the 3 big sport, fantasy football platforms, we're gonna analyze. Right? You guys know them. They're Yahoo, NFL, ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
We're comparing those big 3. Now, granted, there's others out there, right? And we do have some research on them. If you'd like us to analyze them, maybe you're on, ADP or whatever it is, or news, or maybe it's Sleeper, right? Maybe it's CBS. Don't use CBS.
Never.
Yeah, there's tons of other platforms.
Sounds like STD.
I mean, probably. I mean, there's tons of others that we can do. Maybe it's other podcasts or experts. Like some of you might be familiar with maybe the footballers, right?
Footballers. Fantasy football focus.
All right, there's tons.
Or the other one that's trying to copy us that's not as cool as us. The beer fantasy footballers.
Yeah, oh man. Oh man. I mean...
No, just stop. Yeah. Just don't listen to them, please.
Yeah, that's the teacher inside of me trying to spin it.
Because you're a teacher.
Yeah.
They sound like teachers.
Yeah.
Just stop. Go.
So what we're going to do is if you want one of those to be analyzed, because maybe you listen to them or you really, you're like, oh, I want to see how accurate they are or how they compare, right? Which is what we do.
Like let's say, for example, Fantasy Pros.
Yeah.
Or Water World.
Or World, yeah.
Or who else you got?
So Fantasy Pros, we mentioned footballers. It depends where you are. If you're on like YouTube, maybe you listen to The Counselor, right? The Counselor's a big guy.
Yeah.
Maybe you listen to the Father-Son Fantasy Funny.
Father-Son?
Yeah, they have, yeah.
I feel like I'm Catholic now.
Huh? Yeah.
The Holy Spirit.
Mine is the molestations.
All right.
But, if you guys follow all those, maybe you guys know what I'm talking about. Maybe fantasy football advice, right?
All right.
All those are YouTube-based. There's a lot of Instagram-based. There's a lot of podcast-based. If you want those analyzed, just let us know. We do the research. We'll compare them. We'll see who hits more, right?
Yes.
That way you guys can, not only you have them, but you have us to do the filtering for you.
Yeah, the number muncher over here is gonna tell you how reliable they are compared to everybody else.
Exactly. So essentially, we're acting as the bouncers, right? And we're checking their ID. If they pass through you, and then we go through them, and they're over 21 years old, and
maybe they're hot.
Huh? Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they're 19 and hot. I don't know. Yeah. And, we'll let them through. And then we'll break down all the numbers, and we'll say, like, okay, we'll compare them, all their position, everything they do, we'll compare to everything else.
Got you. I like it. So please, once we do settle that down, we will give you the information. So Donnie, honestly, not we, Donnie will check the ID. They will check how good they are and how you should not listen to them, or maybe we should listen to them. And that's going to be real helpful for everybody on the expert list, right? Right. All right. So the last one we have here, which is another segment by Danya, right? We went from nasty, from just bad beats, the people who beat you that shouldn't have beaten you, to what, Danya?
I do not recall. Let's see. Break it down for me, or I'll come back.
I told you told me, you were like, hey, can we have we might want to look at a segment about looking at players who hit and that hit really good and won people their weeks or won the leagues.
Oh, that's what you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Remember?
Future summary. Yeah. That's what you meant. Yeah,
These are future things we're looking at.
Gotcha. Basically, instead of the bad beats, basically players who got pulled over, right, had a .12 and passed. That's basically what they are.
Oh shit! So what you're saying is they passed the DUI checkpoint.
They passed the UI checkpoint. They passed every checkpoint imaginable
that week or that year. Got you. All right. That was the last thing. I don't know if you remember that, but I wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, I do. I thought you were going with some. I thought you were going in a different direction. Totally get it now.
No, not at all. So, all right, this is all done for our segments. I hope you enjoy that. If you have more, let us know. Mm-hmm. We're open to everything. We want to make this as fun, fan interactive as possible.
And if you don't have more, drink until you do.
That's how we did this thing, right? This is how we did it. Yep. So we promised last episode, and only because we listened to the last episode before we started this episode, this is why I got reminded, that we had to talk about Daniel's research. All right, Daniel. Let's talk about your research. I know we talked about how you did logistics, the algorithms, and basically the points, the median, per week, per position. But if you want to talk about that again, please do. I told them they wanted to hear your sexy voice. They will again. Handle it. Tell them your research. Go.
Okay, so as far as the 2018 fantasy football season, this past season, I have stats on the big three. Mike Fabiano's NFL, Matthew Berry's ESPN, and Yahoo. They had different writers, so weekly. So we there's not one particular person who did it. And basically, whatever you want to call it, start, sit, love, hate. Who to start, who to sit. Basically who to play, right? And you probably play on one of these big three. Honestly, you do. Sleeper's getting some hype, but you either play on NFL, ESPN, or Yahoo. Honestly, quick thing, Yahoo is probably the best. Their ADP,
I agree.
Their ADP is probably the most accurate.
I agree. What I like about Yahoo's ADP is that they will adjust their ADP depending on how you draft.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous when I go on ESPN and I can get Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers or Andrew Luck in the 5th or 6th round. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
What you're telling me is I have my 2 wide receivers, my 2 running backs set, and then now I'm gonna get an elite wide receiver, quarterback. Sorry,
yep.
Quarterback. That's not okay.
It's crazy.
ESPN, get it together.
Yep.
But continue.
All right. So I have their season long, how often they hit versus not hit, as well as it broken down by position. So we're starting with NFL's Mike Fabiano. So I'm going to talk about their overall hit, and then I'll break down the numbers after. So as far as players who either hit, they give you great weeks, or they at least didn't lose you a week. They got basically what's considered around projected.
What was your projection?
Well, as far as my projection, I have to break down each case.
Do it. Well, at least, whatever's easiest for you, break it down.
Okay, so I'll talk about overall percentages first. So Mike Fabiano's NFL's Mike Fabiano's, reverse that, right? He hit a total of 68.8% of the time.
D+.
Yeah, 209 out of 304. He had 304 takes, and he was dead on 209.
Okay.
Now Matthew Berry's ESPN, 70.1%. Bit higher, but 117 out of 163 hit. So smaller, 304 to 167, that's a huge drop.
We talked about it in the first podcast.
Next, Yahoo's, and my personal favorite, 136 out of 224, 61%. Granted, it's the lowest. We'll talk about that later, why it's my favorite.
Gotcha.
Now, as far as the individual positions, right? Well, we considered a quarterback hit. First, quarterback settings, right? What people consider standard for quarterback settings. So, 1 point per 25 yards, 4 point per touchdown, what everyone's used to. Basically, the Yahoo default in most defaults.
And in our next podcast, we'll probably tell you, don't do that.
Yeah. So that was the quarterback rating, right? Now the wide receiver rating, right? Basically anything 9 or higher. This is half point PPR with no bonuses, right?
Got it.
9 or higher. Running back, still half point. But this is going to be 8 or higher, just to give a little diversity. Tight end, lastly, was 6.5 or higher. I talked about why it was 6.5 last time. It's basically because the tight end position in the 2018 fantasy football season was horrendous. So for that season, if you got 6.5 or higher, we said that was a hit just because so often, you guys probably know, you guys were getting below that. Now, as far as the quarterback positions, they're all pretty dead even. NFL, 76%. ESPN, 77.7%. Yahoo, 76%.
Oh, yeah, they are dead even.
Yeah.
By 1%, ESPN was more accurate. By 1%.
Right. And for quarterbacks, don't take this too much into consideration just because the last season and this upcoming season, the quarterback depth is really deep. You guys might have heard about streaming quarterbacks. You could have easily done that.
And if you didn't, you're hearing it now.
Yeah. Basically, if you're streaming quarterbacks, you're essentially punting the quarterback position, which I do in one quarterback leagues pretty often.
And you just didn't in our 14-team mock draft before we did this.
I did. You basically get take shots at wide receiver and running back. In exchange, you just get a quarterback in the later rounds. Because most of the time, if you stream matchups, you could probably average a quarterback 1. You could more or less average a quarterback 6 around there if you stream correctly and those options are available, or if you just hit.
Yeah.
Now wide receivers.
Yeah.
NFL 70% hit. ESPN 59.2. It's a big drop off. Yahoo also a big drop off, 54%.
All right. What do you count for that? What do you got?
For the wide receivers? Now, for the wide receiver, it was interesting because as far as how many picks, Mike Fribau's NFL had a total of 80 picks. Way more than ESPN and Yahoo. They had far greater picks and far greater hits.
Wow.
And they had some pretty good picks in there. So as far as wide receivers, when I'm looking at all the stats and the numbers, NFL had that down. They did way more picks than the other two major sites, and they hit way more. Like a 59.2, 54%, right? Those are Fs.
And yeah, for sure. And NFL got a C.
They got a C. C minus. But that's a huge difference.
For sure.
If you guys were ever in college or you took a class, you're like, you guys,
if you're educated.
Yeah, you guys should know how big of a gap that is.
Yeah.
And honestly, the picks were good picks. They're nothing bad about them. Nothing too skewed.
And that's even with, for example, what you said last podcast with Matthew Berry, start your studs.
Correct. Right? Matthew Berry was one of the analysts who, he basically put, if you were questioning whether to start Michael Thomas, he'd be like, no, start Michael Thomas, right?
Yeah.
So despite Matthew Berry, or ESPN picking, the people you shouldn't be sitting anyway.
Yeah.
NFL still had a bigger, more hits. On
11% more.
It's huge, yeah. And that's
huge.
Yeah, and
huge.
It's going to be interesting seeing this season because if that continues, then I definitely look at Fabiano for wide receivers.
For sure. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Now, as far as running backs, right? So remember, running backs, 8 points or more, right? Because maybe you have running backs that maybe don't get as many passes. So NFL 65%, ESPN 79.2, Yahoo 68%. So what probably jumps up is ESPN, right? 79.2, 42 out of 53 picks. First thing I'm going to say, NFL had 80 picks, ESPN had 53, Yahoo had 56. So that means NFL had more picks overall. They had the most picks out of anything, right? So they do get a plus for that.
So relatively, they started from week 1, right? If I remember correctly.
That's essentially what happened. Yeah. ESPN started week 4 on. Yeah, I talked about 4 or 5 on actually. I talked about that last time. That gives ESPN a huge advantage. On top of that, ESPN
percentage-wise.
Correct.
Percentage-wise. Yeah.
On top of that, ESPN had picks where they told you to start Alvin Kamara.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, why would you? I mean, if you're new to fantasy football, maybe first year, second year in, I'm sure some of you were like, oh man, he was having like a little 1 or 2 games in a row that were bad. Do I start him?
Don't be cute.
Yeah, don't you start your studs.
Yes.
If you drafted them in the first 4 rounds, you start them.
Yeah, why not? They're supposed to be match approved.
Right.
Supposed to.
So, we take that with a grain of salt. But, ESPN, even though they say that, I'm sure that helps newer players. But still, it's not something I'd rely on. Now, 65% for NFL, right? 52 out of 80, that's pretty good.
Yeah, NFL is the lowest under RB this time.
Yeah.
For sure.
Granted, towards the end, they started to tell you players like, oh, make sure you play Philip Lindsay. Make sure you play Philip Lindsay. Make sure you play Philip Lindsay. And I'm sure by the time they told you that,
fuck Philip Lindsay.
Right, that was fine. And they got 65%. Yeah. So, whereas Yahoo, right, 68%. And Yahoo, by far, I said it last time, they're the most diverse. Like, they'll tell you, like, I'll look at a random week. So, let's say week 10, right? They told you to start Aaron Jones, Kenyon Drake, Isaiah Correll, and Duke Johnson.
All right.
Week 10, right? That's a pretty diverse and interesting stat line, right?
All right.
That's week 10, and they still hit 68% more than NFL. Now, as far as running back, I'd take Yahoo. As far as quarterbacks, I'd also take Yahoo for that matter. Tight end was really just a crapshoot. Like no one knew what was going on. Like NFL was 62.5, ESPN 55%, Yahoo 46%. But honestly, at some point there was
how much was NFL? 65.
NFL was 65, 62.5.
62. All right.
But at that point, no one even knew. Like at some point, everyone was just saying, all right, he's going to start these 3, these 4, whatever. Now, Yahoo had, a bit more diversity. They were a little more risky.
But you have to be at that point, right?
Yeah, but really, if you take anything from it, right, at least this, in the 2018 series, I'd say ranking-wise, it was, first, if you're just doing wide receivers, NFL was pretty on it. The Mike Fiorella's NFL was on it.
Okay.
For everything else, honestly, I would have gone Yahoo.
Yahoo and everything else.
And everything else, right? Matthew Berry's ESPN. He's good for beginners.
Matthew Berry, Field Gates. I want to clarify that.
Matthew Berry, Field Gates.
Field Gates did the waiver wire.
He did the waiver wire, right. But which has different stats, though. We can get that later.
Yeah. We'll get in. But that's in your statistics, right?
Not in these, because these are just for starts or sits.
Oh, shit.
I also have separate for waivers. So.
My bad. Are we talking about waivers today, or are we going to wait for later?
Well, we'll hold off a little bit on the waivers.
Yeah, hold off. Tease them.
Yeah, I mean, we'll do that closer to the season. But one of the key things you should know about Yahoo, they teamed up with Roto World. Right?
Yeah. We talked about it in the first podcast. Yes, correct.
And those of you who were with Roto World, they had they weren't they weren't mainstream for a while. They had more diverse picks. Hence why Yahoo were looking at the picks. I named you Week 10, right? I mean, they're telling you to start Isaiah Correll. Like I'll name some of the other ones. So Week 10, right? Yahoo told you to start Aaron Jones, Kenyon Drake, Isaiah Correll, Duke Johnson.
All right.
Now ESPN told you to start Alvin Kamara.
Right. Stupid.
Kareem Hunt.
Don't be stupid.
DJ, David Johnson.
Really?
Aaron Jones.
Wow. So Aaron Jones was the last pick in the first pick of Yahoo.
Yeah. So I mean, if you guys played that season, you'd be like, well, yeah, no shit. Why would you sit then?
I'm at oh shit as well.
Now NFL, right? Like they told you to start Tevin Coleman, Nick Chubb, Jordan Howard, Kenyon Drake, Aaron Jones.
Good picks from last year.
But keep in mind, Tevin Coleman, he was the number one.
Yeah, he was supposed to be.
Right, Devonta Freeman wasn't there.
Week 2. Yeah.
Nick Chubb, he was also the number one.
Yes.
Jordan Howard, that's when he became hitting his stride already.
Okay.
Now Kenyon Drake, that was a good hit. It was risky. And Aaron Jones, but if you can tell, all those names I listed,
all of them.
You could tell Yahoo by far had like, okay, well, we assume everyone's not an idiot, so let's tell them people who they're really like, can I flex this person? Exactly. They're basically telling you like, if you have people injured, can I start this on my RB2 or can I flex someone?
For sure.
That's why I lean toward Yahoo with the 61%. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, and I would say obviously, but if you have those players set for you to pick up, you're in a bad league.
Yeah.
I'm going to be straightforward. You're in a bad league. You should not have Alvin Kamara set at week 10.
Yeah.
Not on the waiver or free agent to pick up. Or who else did you have?
On that list?
Yeah. That was a crazy list to think about. Like,
for people to start, right?
Yeah.
So for ESPN, Kamara was on that list. Kareem Hunt was on that list.
Come on. Kareem Hunt was on KC.
David Johnson was on that list.
Before the kick. David Johnson, come on. Like
Aaron Jones, Jordan Howard, those are a little more acceptable, but I mean, really?
These are all 4th round picks. All of them.
Oh, except for Kamara. Kamara was a first?
No. These are all 4th. What I mean by 4th round is 1st to 4th.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Right? The only one there is probably Aaron Jones. That's it.
He's about the only one, yeah.
Yeah.
That's because he was injured.
And this year, he's going 3rd.
Yeah.
I get it. But what I'm saying for last year, though, that's ridiculous.
Yep.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, thank you for, what do you call it? Just making your percentage go way up because you just picked the most obvious picks.
Right, because if I just listed the numbers, you guys with the highest percentage, right? You'd be like, oh, let me pick this. But if you want actual help and
Don, I need help.
Yeah, if you're like someone like like I played fantasy football, I'm looking at like week 10. Can I start Duke Johnson? Right.
Duke Johnson's a good pick.
Right. That means you're in a deep league. You're serious. You need help. Do I start Duke Johnson?
You go RB2 flex.
Exactly. You go with Yahoo.
Right?
Yeah.
I know I'm starting Nick Chubb at that point. Because Nick Chubb at that point was just balling.
Yeah, he was
balling.
He was the number one.
Right?
Yep.
But at that point, it's like, do I play Duke Johnson RB2 or flex? What do I do? And this is where Donnie is going to come and tell you, listen to this person. Listen to that person.
It's not guaranteed, but I mean, for them to have a 60... No.
I said it was guaranteed.
There you go. Israel said it's guaranteed, so I can say whatever I want.
Yeah.
But for them to have a 61%, right? Granted, it's not as high as the rest, but with the names I named, can you blame them?
Right.
Yeah. The fact that they are that high is incredible.
At least according to you, according to everything the RBs and ESPN, they hit hard. They hit it good.
Yeah.
And the way you're explaining it is that, well, yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah.
If you're going to play your studs and I'm going to tell you to play your studs, then you're going to hit.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And I like that because, you know, it's easy for us to look at all different information and look at the love-hate and look at all the articles we want to look at. But also look at, what are they saying? Right?
Yep.
What are they going to tell us? You got kickers and defense in there too? Of course not. Please don't.
Yeah. The only one who does kickers and defense is Mike Fabiano. By the way, if you do kickers, listen to Mike Fabiano. He's actually pretty good at it.
What's the percentage on that?
For a percentage of Mike, it's not the greatest, but it is. Let's see, looking at this, 70.4.
He's a C-, man.
Yeah, it's pretty good. He picks some outrageous, you know, sometimes he picks good picks, you know, but so often sometimes these are not streamable. They're just. But I mean, if you do DFS, listen to him.
But he does pick kickers that are not drafted or not owned.
Generally, yes.
From what I know, right?
Yeah. Sometimes he doesn't, but yeah,
it's more stream kickers or stream defense, right?
It is.
Do you want to do Minority Report? Do you want to do Minority Report?
We can hit it
Let's
very quickly. Yeah. We'll go through it.
What do we got, Donnie?
Okay, so Minority Report. First thing up, I'm sure you guys realize. I mean, Tyreek Hill. That news has been going like
huge news.
Apparently, nothing's gonna happen. Like
apparently, you can hear your kid.
Yeah. I was gonna say for those of you that you know. Just keep at it.
That's the chancla or the belt. Mm-hmm. And also, for the women, you can verbally abuse them.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Especially, yeah. Only verbally sometimes. Yeah.
You better be scared of me.
Yeah. So,
damn, he said that on the audio.
So as far as Tyreek...
He got away with it?
Huh? Yeah.
I just want to say he got away with it.
I mean, OJ did.
Same lawyer?
Yeah.
Except he's dead. But same lawyer.
If the glove doesn't fit, he must have quit.
I like it.
So as far as if you guys ever heard him, I don't know how you.
I actually don't like it.
But Tyreek Hill.
I like your joke.
Latest news: no suspension.
Crazy.
Yeah. So
crazy. Draft him where he's at, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's gonna shoot up. But if you're drafting now with the latest news, if that's what we have to go on, he's a steal where he's going at right now.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. He was super consistent last year.
Yeah.
Right? Super consistent.
With
2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago, he was up and down, boom or bust. You played at home, play him. You played away, don't play him.
Also, for those of you who have been drafting Mahomes early, with Tyreek there, it helps Mahomes.
I think so, too.
It does.
I think so.
His ceiling is back.
Yeah. And if we're going to go individual analysis, I would say that you got to scale back Travis Kelce. I know you disagree.
Not too much. Yeah.
But he's still number one. I'm not saying he's number two now. What I'm saying is that his yardage is going to go down a little bit.
Maybe.
A little bit. Yeah. Well, he's set for 8 to 12 touchdowns. For sure. I think so.
Locked in? Okay.
He's locked in. 8 to 12. Get the range.
Okay.
But he did hit 12, 23 or something like that for his yardage. And that was the record. I would not expect that for this year. I would not.
Okay.
The second news we got was what?
Second is when we're talking about. Yeah, you know what? We'll go ahead and talk about. We'll keep on red receivers. We'll talk about Julian Edelman.
The hurt one himself.
Yep.
He apparently dislocated or broke his thumb.
Yeah.
For some reason.
And so this is the thing about Edelman. He's injury prone.
Hurt all the time.
Yeah. But when he's on the field, he's a PPR monster.
Correct.
And he's going to be the number one receiving weapon for the Patriots.
It's going to be him or James White.
Yeah.
Right?
So, I mean, Edelman might miss some time. But once he's back, he missed 4 weeks last year. But if you drafted him, you're
Correct.
like, oh, my God, me and
you
both
did.
Yeah, I had him in so many leagues. He was a monster.
Wide receiver, like 18 or wide receiver
last year.
Yeah, he was in the teens, not even past the 20s.
No, yeah, you're right. He was in the teens, and he missed the first four games. And he was so consistent. He was always like a high end 2, borderline 1. Right, like Edelman's a beast.
And last year, that was your flex.
Yeah,
that was your flex last year.
Or in my case, I was so hurt. It was my wide receiver 2, which was cool.
Good. All right, and the last one we got here, unless you want to talk about the pup list, and I'll let you do that if you want to. Right. But the last one I got here is Zeke and Gordon holdouts.
Okay, yeah.
So
you guys know Zeke and Gordon holdouts. So we'll touch upon Zeke first. So there are some reports about 2 sources close to Zeke said basically he'd show up for training camp, right? But he's still, he's letting the team know, like, hey, like it's basically cool for this season. But, once this season is over, like, he's gonna need to get paid. And he wants that paycheck. Like they're spending a lot of money at Dak, a lot of money on Amari Cooper, and he's not getting compensated. He's still on his rookie contract, and Zeke's a beast.
He is.
Granted, he's suspended and he's in legal trouble. All in all, so I made
Vegas EDM.
Yeah, I made the suggestion. Why don't you just put it in a clause if he gets another accusation, like his money gets cut or something like that? Exactly. I think that'd be fair. As far as Gordon is so as far as this year, I think Zeke's still fine. This is a flex move for now. He still has got 2 years. After this year, that's when Cowboys need to, at the end of the year, they need to make him an offer if they want to keep him.
All right. So from your sources, what you're saying is that this year he's bluffing. Next year you hold out.
Correct.
Got you. All right. I'm gonna listen to you, Donnie, because you're the number one.
Gotcha.
Do you want to do any of the pup list? Do you want to do any more?
Well, let's just talk about Gordon real quick. And
I totally forgot about that guy.
I mean,
I'm dumb because I don't draft that guy.
Gotcha. Yeah.
We just did the 14 team. Mm-hmm. I did not draft Gordon at the 7th draft. I did not. But who did I draft?
Devontae Adams.
Yes, but then at the back end, I drafted both Jackson and Ekeler.
I was gonna say Tucker, but no, he's the kicker.
Also, I drafted him too.
So Gordon's, as far as about him holding out, right? That's a real threat.
Yeah.
If you're drafting right now early for some reason, you can't take that risk.
Don't.
You're taking the risk on your running back number 1 busting. You do that, you're in a ditch.
For sure.
Now that's a real possibility. He's seen Lev Bell laid out the path.
Correct.
Right? And if the Chargers can't do an offer that Gordon will accept, he'll hold out.
For sure.
And the other thing about the Chargers, I know they have like some financial issues right now. Just moving, they have it from some things I've looked at. They have it sold out stadiums quite yet, which is weird because they're a good team right now. Maybe it's that first year change. Whatever happens, so maybe they don't have the money, or maybe they don't want to keep Gordon. But if they, it's so weird. Some people were saying their offense runs through Gordon. He's a huge part of their offense. He really is. So he's like their Gurley. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Right. If he, if that game would have kept going, Gordon probably would have been the RB2 on the season if he did get injured. He was a beast. Anyone who drafted him, you guys know, like, oh my God, he was a league winner up until he got hurt. But if he holds out, then I mean, just don't draft him until you hear more.
And that's why when we talked about the top of the segment to not do your draft until after. Yeah, do your thing. Please don't do that. Always wait till the very end, and that way you know what's going on. Because if Melvin Gordon goes right now, why would you draft him? Even in auction or snake draft, why would you do that? Like that's the most dumbest move you can make. Like I'd rather go with Todd Gurley. Honestly, go with Todd Gurley because at least he's going to start, and then you can cuff him up in the 10th with his cuff. And that sounds more logistic than anything. And I don't have. We're about to do a DUI test right now, and I don't have it. I don't know where mine's at. I have to use yours.
Gotcha. I mean,
yeah, shared germs.
There you go.
Oh, I hope you don't have an STD or STI.
Huh? Well, we'll find
I hope you don't have an
yeah. But so while he's doing that, I'll talk about some of you who follow like other news sources. Maybe you heard about DeAndre Hopkins under the PUP list, the PUP list.
Yeah, you want to bring this
up? So
we'll
briefly touch upon that. So in the last playoff game, DeAndre Hopkins basically suffered some an injury to his shoulder. According to him, some of his ligaments tore off from the bone. He had some surgery, got them repaired, and he's in the process of recovering. So the Texans put him on the PUP list, on the active PUP list, right? The active versus the inactive is a huge difference. The active PUP list means he can be taken off at any time. When he's on the inactive PUP list, that's when you got to be worried. But since it's not even preseason, it's still off season, and it's the PUP list, all that's saying is like, they're basically doing more roster spot. Like they free up roster spots. He's injured. They're letting him heal up. Everything from Hopkins, he said he feels great. He's gonna feel good, and I think he'll be fine. He's still safe to draft until we hear otherwise.
Exactly, and that's what I was telling Donnie off the air, was that he's doing load management. This is load management, man. This is the thing that they do in the NBA all the time. This is load management. Who gives a fuck about the PUP list until after the preseason? Ow, your shoulder.
Yeah.
You fucking D-hop right now. You D-hopped.
Minorities gotta relate, right?
Yes, so damn. But yeah, don't worry about it till now, until you get after the preseason, and then we'll figure everything out because we have more information. But I believe that's all the Minority Report we have. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. And if we get fucking, what is that called? Copyrighted off of that, that means that we got famous. Thank you very much. Thank you. And I would take that as a compliment. But we are done for today. We got to hit the music.
We got to hit the music, doing last calls, and we're ending with our, since we're not going to get another drink unless bartender's nice, which is not here. We're going to say our ending VACs.
Oh, yeah. What you got, Diane?
Okay, so I ended at a 0.083%.
You did. According to me, I got a 0.09.
And by according to him, he means according to the breathalyzer test.
And I'm more drunk than you. So, I think I win.
I mean...
I think I win, and you lose. Because you just talked a bunch of nonsense about research and all these numbers. Who knows what else you're talking about?
I don't even know.
I was drinking. He doesn't even know. But yeah, that was last call already. Again, this is our exit out. We can have a DUI without you. I am the I, Israel.
I am the D, Onion.
Without you, we will have a DUI. Thank you very much for listening. And please listen to our next episode.